This is the second part of this story. Fumiya Tomozaki and Yu Izumi walked together. She told him Shuji Nakamura informed her about practicing the takfam game after school. She loved Shuji Nakamura. She thought he also liked her because she always moved with him, but unfortunately, she liked a girl named Erika Kano as a leader in her group. He became tired from this conversation. He asked her where they had to practice. She replied at her place. He feels it weird. At home, during their practice, she complained to him about his super creepy moves, but he mentioned she was good at the fundamentals. The problem lies in the natural game. He told him the technique to jump the character and explained that if she presses a short of the jump button, she gets a short hop. He gave her a stopwatch for home practice. As she practices with a stopwatch, she has become an expert in using short hop. He told her she had to do memorization, saving a game between two top players as an example. She should remember it and replicate it perfectly. He took a notebook and pen from his bag and made sketches. He also gives her this notebook with information about the buttons to press for moves, along with stick figures illustrating the positions for using those moves. He remembered all the characters' moves. He told her he didn't play this game for any particular reason, not to make friends or win. She replied that it is just a game. She cannot change anything, not even her way of thinking in life from birth to today. After that, he talked about a game called Life, explaining strategies and putting effort into it. Now he claims it is a good game, believing he can change herself too if she wants. He had dinner with Aoi Hanami and talked to her about Yu Izumi. Aoi Hanami gave him tickets for a pre-release movie this Sunday. In class, he appreciates Yu Izumi for her effort to learn the game. At the library, he met Fuka Kikuchi and was told he hadn't read a single book by Michael Andi. He decided to read it now. He did the wrong thing by agreeing to read her novel. They both laughed at the situation when he went to the sewing room to tell Aoi Hanami he couldn't ask Fuka Kikuchi about the movie. At the same time, two boys took him and brought him to play a takfam game with Shuji Nakamura. He told him he knew he had been practicing for many days, as Yu Izumi told him. Yu Izumi came with a friend to watch their game. In the first round, Shuji Nakamura tried a lot but failed, and he won. Shuji Nakamura asked to play again, but he won again. They played many times, but each time Shuji Nakamura failed. Erika Kano told Shuji Nakamura he was a failure, and she was not interested in him. If she knew this before, she would even be able to talk with him. She just wanted to date the most popular guy in class. Now she doesn't care. Fumiya Tomozaki shouted at her, telling her Shuji Nakamura was not a laughingstock. He practiced and improved. He hasn't changed his character because he still fights with him. This game needs a lot of practice because it contains simple rules, but the game itself has a deep style. He hates people like her who mock others.
After it been fucked, your feelings. The way she suck my soul, I need some spiritual healing. After it been fucked, your feelings. The way she suck my soul, I need some spiritual healing. After it been fucked,
Yu Izumi also agrees with Fumiya Tomozaki's talk because she recently practiced this game. After that, Erika Kano moved out with her friend. At lunch, he asked Aoi Hanami to go with him to a preview screening tomorrow since he has tickets. She replied she had some activities in the club but suggested going with him after and watching a different movie. He is happy because he is approaching and getting the results of his efforts. Fumiya Tomozaki plays the takfam game with Aoi Hanami online and reflects on yesterday when he watched a movie with her. She told him that when he discussed the movie, he sounded like he was lecturing and couldn't express emotions. It felt like they were starting over. In class the next day, Yu Izumi informed him that she had learned the work he assigned to her. He mentioned Shuji Nakamura's upcoming birthday when she questioned why. She asked why, he said, around the corner, and she clarified it's a month away. He is realizing it might be insensitive. Mizusawa approached him, expressing support for his way of talking and appreciating his emotions and thoughts. In the sewing room, he told Aoi Hanami that Mizusawa invited him and another girl for a foursome. Considering the advice he gave Yu Izumi in the morning about Shuji Nakamura's birthday, he decided to invite her. At dinner, Aoi Hanami messaged him, and they agreed to go shopping. The next day they go shopping. While shopping, Yu Izumi mentioned a rumor about Aoi Hanami and Mizusawa dating, surprising Fumiya Tomozaki. He remembered his task to make two successful decisions with a group of people. During discussions on a present for Shuji Nakamura, they decided on stylish hair wax. Mizusawa suggested going to the west entrance for a better selection. There, Mizusawa applied a hair wax sample to Fumiya Tomozaki's hair, and they all liked it. Yu Izumi bought the birthday present, and they decided to eat the suggested 4-cheese special pizza. The next day in the sewing room, Aoi Hanami asked about his task. He realized his appearance had improved slightly and acknowledged the substance in Mizusawa's suggestions. However, when Aoi Hanami mentioned the pizza, he admitted it wasn't tasty. She emphasized the importance of accepting suggestions based on their actual merit. Fumiya Tomozaki got angry, calling it a garbage game. She proposed a negotiation game where persuasion, understanding character tastes, and working with interests mattered, a rich game with strategies. In class, the teacher asked students to accept student council nominations. Aoi Hanami and Mimamai Nanami both participated, with Mimamai Nanami expressing confidence in her grades. In the sewing room, Aoi Hanami told Fumiya Tomozaki that he had to make Mimamai campaign manager, and his work was to support the candidate. When it comes to conversation, Mimamai Nanami is his best model, and he has to bind up his skill at her side. He asked what if she loses. She replied he should not be worried about it because she likes her, and she is important to her. However, she cannot beat her. When he walked, he met Mimamai Nanami and told her he wanted to be her campaign manager. She replied, appreciating the sentiment but mentioning he was a tad unreliable. At the library, he met with Fuka Kikuchi, and they both talked about the student council election. She told him that Mimamai Nanami joined this because maybe she wanted to change things around here and change herself too. He was surprised to learn that Fuka Kikuchi also wanted to change herself. The next day when he went to school, he learned that Mimamai Nanami made Yumi her campaign manager, and Aoi Hanami got many votes because she knew every student club's affiliation. He thought she was unbeatable. When he walked, Mimamai Nanami came to him and gave him her manifesto to answer the tough questions. He did a kind thing and gave her another print of these questions, which is easier to read, helping her with this kind of brain-forward stuff. She told him Yumi could not help her after school because she had to go to the club. If he helps her after school, she thanks him. He agreed, and she asked why he helped her. He replied that he wanted to see Aoi Hanami go down. She replied she was with him because she wanted to win. He thought Aoi Hanami was a good player in the game of life, and one day he would beat her. He took Mimamai Nanami to the sports club to play the students their cards, but suddenly she ran toward a girl named Natsubayashi and licked her belly button. The senior named Shirori came and asked what happened. She told him about an electrical ball pump to stimulate club activities, and she had to tell everyone in the club. She agreed, and 2 girls decided to give her votes. When they sat in a park, he saw a haniwa attached to her bag and asked about it. She called it cute, as it was the first sight of love for her, and asked about tomorrow's plans. He told her they had to get a lot of votes and asked why she wanted to bring down Aoi Hanami. Then she played a quiz, asking questions about the first tallest mountain and the first president of the USA. He replied easily, but when she asked about the second tallest mountain and the second president, he never replied. She told everyone to remember the first girl in May's sports test, who was Aoi Hanami, and not remember the second one, who was Mimamai Nanami. She wants to win because everyone remembers the first person, not the second one. The next day, he told her he had always been skeptical that his approach would work in IRL and gave it a shot. After that, he went to the club and asked for Natsubayashi's help. She helped him by deciding to play the music over the corner where all the club members could hear the music. She helped him only for Mimamai Nanami. The next day in the food court, Mimamai Nanami came to him and told him she invited 4 classrooms for an intro, and she told the classroom students she would install air conditioners in their room and a ball pump at sports clubs if she became student council president. He gave her a campaign speech, and they decided they can beat Aoi Hanami. Please subscribe to the channel for the latest update.
So when she suck my soul, I need some spiritual healing.